but then you got Trump getting rid of Black history enough so white folks don't be uncomfortable. So when are they not? It almost seems like they would be uncomfortable all the time.
Right.
They're uncomfortable when you exist. They're mad because you're in the neighborhood.
Right.
What do you mean when you say uncomfortable? That's damn near everything that we do.
That's
so where do you go?
It's the conversation.
And because sometimes they just don't hold themselves accountable. Period. They don't want to be told a damn thing that. Oh, this is what happened to the Native Americans. This is what, I'm not knocking you, but you gotta just know that, just acknowledge it. Right. But them not being uncomfortable means we're never gonna be able to talk. That's how I feel sometimes.
I understand, but I think that's why like my mindset was, how do you want to try to attack the hearts?
Right.
You're not finna like, I'm with you. And here's where I think a lot of people mess up, because a lot of people have done this to me. Anybody who's trying to pursue justice, I won't knock the way they're doing it, at least not publicly. That's the problem I think a lot of Black people have, considering, everybody Black skin, not talking about the culture now, talking about the color. It's like too much front-facing division. Even if you don't agree with the way you're doing something, I'll just tell you in private.
That's it.
Or I won't tell you at all, as long as it's not detrimental. You feel me?
Period.
If you're coming out with a song that's like, we need to be free, I don't know if any white person who's in politics is hearing your song and changing laws, but hey, if this is what you feel for you, do your thing. You feel me? But I feel like a lot of the dilemma is, in this day and age, is if you're doing something the way I don't want to do it, I'm going to undermine what you're doing, which is just hurting the ultimate cause. You know what I'm saying? So my approach was always my approach. If I can make better change by being inside the room than I can ever make being outside the room yelling at what y'all doing inside the room.
Right.
Yeah.
And you actually came under a lot of attack. You've been attacked by, like a lot of people within the community and saying, for the ones that disagree. What is that like? How does that make you feel? How do you perceive that? And when they come at you in that way?
How it makes me feel sad, disheartened. Like if I'm just being vulnerable, transparent, it makes me feel sad because like, anybody who really knows me or knows my intention is to promote peace. But I'm going to promote peace in a peaceful manner. I'm not going to promote peace with violence. I don't think it can be gang. I don't think anybody's going to win if it's like, what, F them, da-da-da. That's just not my objective. So when I've been attacked, speaking about uncomfortable conversations, when I've been attacked for that, I'm just like, one, I'm like, dang, I wish y'all really knew my intention. Two, I'm like, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. We won't make any change if we don't present unified. If we all presenting is, because on the outside, how do we look? How do we look if I'm calling another Black person an idiot for their approach, another Black person's calling me an idiot for their, now white people confused. Now white people are like, but wait, I actually liked what he was saying. Wait, but this Black person saying what he's saying is wrong. So wait, and then he's, so now the hearts that we're trying to change, they're in turmoil because we're not presenting as a unified front. And what I found interesting about other colors and even other cultures is like, if you at least present as a unified front, it's easier to digest. But if mom and dad are telling you two different things of information, what's the listener supposed to hear? If the substitute teacher and the real teacher are telling you different things, who are you supposed to listen to?
You speak to my heart as a father, and I have this conversation with my wife. I'm not perfect. She's not perfect. And I say, if I ever correct the kids or do something with the kids and you think that that's gonna, just pull me to the room. But don't correct me in front of the kids because now you've undermined my authority. And now the kids go, well, so dad doesn't know, so it's mom. And then they play the this. It's like, hey, come talk to me in private. And then I can then go make the correction or make the change. But when it's like, it's almost like now it's like this immediate response is anger. And I have to show you that I'm upset by calling you out for the clicks or whatever. Like, you recently had one that went viral with Van Lathan. Van Lathan.
That's the primary one.
Yeah.
Was that, how long ago was that now?
January of 23 or
because you said what you said, and I know me, I like to do rants and all that. And I said, yo, you know what Acho said? I said, I like Acho. Shit. I was like, what did Acho? Anybody ever go Acho, man?
Oh man, I'm sorry.
Damn. I thought I was original. But yeah, so I was like, let me see what he said. I said, man, I don't know. Because being a Nigerian, I kind of know what he's saying. But I was like, let me, and I'm glad that you showed up. I said, oh, we get to talk about this. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm not gonna give my opinion on it. I don't wanna say, because I support all the Nigerians that are on TV. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I think people took it the wrong way, what you were saying. If I'm right about how you deal with certain people because you're Nigerian American.
Yeah, I mean, I said there's a lot of things, and I don't really talk about that often just because I don't need to give it oxygen.
Right.
But that was the most disheartening interview, conversation, and response I've ever had for several reasons. Number one, what was your intention? Right, when I asked what was your intention, the response to my knowledge was like, well, I talk about you a lot off camera, so I didn't want to be like no BI when you here. And I'm like, who's making you that? Furthermore, like, if you wanted to attack me, I don't need to be present for this. Like, you can attack me when I'm at home doing something else. Because, bro, I don't really do conversations, right? I don't do podcasts, rather. I had vocal cord surgery, so I don't like to talk a lot. Only reason I did it was because my friend at the time, Rachel Lindsay, was on the show. So I see it come through. My dog come through, sure, I'll do it, whatever. As soon as I got on, I was like, oh, I see what type of time you on. You feel me? As soon as I got on, I was like, oh, this is a hit job. Like this wasn't a because I came on, I got my Emmys in my background and my backdrop, right? Just like, oh, okay, you got Emmys, and Van just looks mad. Just looks mad. And then during the course of the conversation, I was like, I was really just disheartened, and I wasn't as much disheartened for me as I was for us. Because I was like, if somebody's watching this, what are they supposed to assume? What are they supposed to perceive? You just got black people arguing.
Right.
You got black people arguing.
Like, and it's like, pick a side.
He was Van Helsing.
What was this? What was the game? What was the game, bro?
Yeah.
If you got an issue with my approach, hit my line. You have my number, and you can get my number from your co-host. So I'm very, and maybe because I'm Oprah trained, but I'm very intrigued always by what's your intention and what was your intention for that. It's a lot of people I don't agree with in how they approach trying to reconcile peace in America right now. I've never once publicly undermined somebody. Not somebody black. Not somebody. I've never once publicly undermined somebody.
We should keep practicing that. Like you said, send me a DM or something. Like, hey man,
can we have a conversation?
We have to learn, because we, even in the comedy world, shit, I've had to there's a lot of black comedians do this. We will dog each other. Like, yo, man, that ain't even funny. It'll go all in social media. I said, dog, all the other races, even they have beef in between, but you never know.
You rarely hear about it.
Man, he ain't even funny. I had to correct one bro. I ain't gonna say his name. He's famous. I called him up, and I was on Vlad TV or whatever, and I was talking about, I wish they wouldn't be fighting, because this dude is doing well. And why is he getting mad at this cat doing well too? And a lot of us hate when another cat's doing well. I said, so when I said that, and I wasn't dogging him, he called me, yo, why you talking about me? I said, my man, I didn't even dog you. I said, what you're doing doesn't look good. You look like you're looking jealous of this other person. It makes you look bad. I'm trying to protect you. Then he goes, oh, I didn't see it. I said, yeah, but you're so caught up in not anybody having anything. It doesn't work that way. You can't have everything. So listen, you're doing this. You got this movie with this. Why are you about this man's shit?
Do you think?
Because he realized it, but it was like that. Why are you coming at me like we got to do constructive criticism?
Yeah, and I think the constructive criticism is so key, because I often wonder, because of the meteoric rise that you've had in your career, I wonder if sometimes the attack that you've had, whether it's been in the comment section or whether it's been a Van Lathan or whoever, do you think a lot of that has to do with your meteoric rise, your association with Oprah, some of the people that you've had? Like, do you think any of that has to do with that?
I'll give you two answers.
Yeah.
The first answer I'll give is an answer of, I can't speak for anybody else.
Okay.
It's the first answer.
Fair.
Second answer, the human psychology of it all, whether it's my master's degree in psychology or just common sense, is oftentimes people feel like you didn't work for what you got and I should have it. Acho, who are you to speak for black people? I didn't make myself the spokesperson for black people.
Right.
I just started talking and people chose to listen. I didn't.
Why would that be a problem, you think, when people say that? Because I've heard people say that, like, you can't speak for us. Like, what does that even
I think
if you're not us.
I think people are conflating culture and color. The dilemma in America that we're subject to is black based on the color. not exclusively black based on the culture. When I get pulled over by a cop, it's not, oh, you're Nigerian.
Right.
You look black. I'm 6'2", 240 and black.
Right.
You feel me? So the dilemma, the mainstay of the dilemma in America, modern day, is predicated upon the color, not necessarily the culture. But when people are saying you're not one of us, they're talking about the culture.
Right. Yeah.
But the discrimination in America is based upon the color before you ever know the culture.
Damn right.
So I think a lot of people are conflating two things.
And what about you? Because I would consider, and you, I don't want to speak for you, but I would consider me, yourself, I would consider us, quote unquote, bicultural, because we grew up in two different cultures. Like
facts.
People tell me all the time, like, man, you sound like you white. I was like, I grew up in a Nigerian neighborhood, Nigerian household, and I grew up in South, I would tell anybody, come grow up in the neighborhood I grew up in the 80s and the 90s and tell me, like, how could you get more of a cultural, quote unquote, culture? And that's what a lot of people want you to believe the cultural experience is, because it feels like the culture has to be associated with something negative or bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I also hate that the culture has to be like a monolith. As if being black is there's only one way to be black. And that's the most frustrating thing, and it's also an indictment on black people. Like, there should be several ways to be able to be black.
But the thing is, too, is another propaganda. The people who control the media keep it that way. I mean, you got to think about it. You born in America, you seeing footage of Africa, it's flies and starving people. When the same people are down the street in America with flies and a big belly on their head. It was like, my father used to say, he said, Africa, we have nice things, and we didn't believe. We're like, really? It's like, of course we have this, but on the news they will just show like we look like, bush people, and it's not the truth. But then, those same people that are showing all these negative things got property over there. They're in Africa hanging out that don't look like you because they want to keep that divide amongst. That's why the Chinese are so amazing, because the Chinese that are here are connected to China. China looks out for the Chinese that are here too. Africa doesn't really do that. There's a separate, they've done it on purpose. I mean, they've bordered off African countries. You got to have a passport to go to the neighboring country, but in Europe, you could take a train to Italy, to boom, and those same people from Europe are the ones that bordered Africa, so that Africans can't talk to each other. So the division of black, Africans, Caribbeans was done on purpose. It was just purposely done, propaganda. That's why it's hard to change the monolith. We're all different, we're Nigerians, but we all do different types of things. But the propaganda, like, I kind of thank God for the Trump administration, because he's screwing everybody in the ass right now. I love that. I'm a Trump supporter now.
They're gonna come after you.
Let them. Oh, come on, dude. I do this on stage, bro. I like that Trump is screwing everybody in the ass right now. Everybody thought they was good, right?
Why? Elaborate.
Because the people that are on welfare are mostly white. And so they're showing their faces, because the poster child for welfare was black people. It was the welfare mother was black. Welfare was black people, but most people on welfare are white. So it's exposing a lot of people, right? A lot of poor whites, poor farmers, like, I don't have any money. Oh, but poverty was a black thing, and that's not the fact.
So you're saying that's exposing it.
Everybody's being evenly exposed, like, oh, you don't have money either. But it always makes it look like black. We're 14% of America and 100% of the problem. What are we doing here? There's black people doing well, doing very well. There are black families with fathers, there's all of that. 83% of black fathers take care of their children. The highest percentage of fathers are black that take care of their kids. Out of white fathers, out of Asian fathers. But would you know that? Who has the highest degrees in America? Black women. But would you know that? No, because they're always twerking on the goddamn TV. All we see is twerking. When black women are engineers, they're busting their ass, but we got to get it down to a twerk.
That's another 154 conversation in the books. We are bridging culture back to its roots.
From Africa to the world, we're telling stories our way.
So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and share your voice in the comments. This is 154.